Dear structural engineers, ladies and gentlemen, this video is intended to introduce IDEA RCS program. RCS is an abbreviation for Reinforced Concrete Section, and it enables you to perform the checks of reinforced concrete sections according to Eurocode 2. RCS is either standalone or linked to 3D programs application. To demonstrate the capabilities, let me to input one section. As you can see, there are three sections which have already been input. Let me to input a new beam section, which could be midspan of the beam called, let's say, beam 1. We can also input exposure classes and other data, but let me to do it later. Now we have an empty section, and we can proceed. When we want to proceed, we can always press the button in the navigator and input new section. IDEA RCS can work with general cross sections, but there is also a large variety of predefined cross-sectional shapes and reinforcement layouts. Let me to use T section. Width of the section will be 650, depth will be 600, flange thickness 140, and web thickness 220. The cross section is here, and we can change the geometry or change the material. For reinforcement, there are reinforcement layouts which we can choose for each cross section. Now we can input number of upper bars, number of lower bars, also edge bars along the sides, the bar diameter, material, and also the stirrup properties. Now, if we want to change the properties of the bars, we can use the table in data window and change, for example, diameter of the bars. There is also the possibility to define the general reinforcement such as stirrups or longitudinal reinforcement. You can delete, you can export or import the reinforcement, and use various other actions on the ribbon. Next step is to define the properties of the member, beam 1, for example, exposure classes or other properties. In spite of the fact that the program is intended for the analysis of cross sections, we can provide the check if the calculation of deflection of the beam is necessary by checking the slenderness of the beam. So we defined the span and also the support conditions. Now we can go straight to the load effects. So let me to introduce the shear force 80 kilonewtons, torsion moment, bending moment, both bending moments, and also the characteristic and the quasi-permanent combination. Those are the results of the combinations, the extremes which have to be checked. And now we can already calculate the analysis. And in our info window, we can see not only the cross-section and reinforcement, but also the forces and the checks of ultimate limit state and serviceability limit state. The value is the value of exploitation of the cross-section. So now you have seen the first strength of RCS program. It is effectiveness and speed in which you can get the results and check your cross-sections. As you could see, it is also easy to use. You can see the summary of the checks, but also, if you need, you can investigate further the detailed results. For example, response of the cross-section is here, and we can see strain and stress distribution, also the cross-section, the dimension lines, which can be switched on or switched off. You can also see what are the stresses in mouse tension reinforcement, or also other reinforcement bars in the concrete fibers. What is the force in the compression area, or the force in concrete. Here there is the resultant force in the tensile reinforcement. As you can see here on the picture, those layers of the reinforcement are loaded to the extent that the state of stress and strain is on plastic branch of stress-strain relationship. As we can see here, this is the stress-strain diagram for mouse pressured concrete fiber, but here for this bar we can see that we are already at the plastic branch of the diagram. There is also the possibility to see the strains and stresses in the cross-section, and also 3D forces together with the resultant forces and their positions. So this is another strength of RCS. You can investigate and have very detailed analysis of your cross-section. As you can see, we use generic methods, fully complying Eurocode assumptions. Any shape of the cross-section and any reinforcement layout can be analyzed. Various types of cross-sections and structure elements were analyzed. There is a possibility to check not only bending but also shear force. There are results, intermediate results, and also explanations with the references to Eurocode provisions. There is check of torsion here, and also check of interaction. As you can see on the picture, there is, for example, in here the strain 68.8 times 10 to the power of -4, and the bending, then the strain is smaller. The difference is caused by the interaction of all components of internal forces, which is again, which proves the comprehensiveness of the solution and detailness of the solution. As concerning serviceability limit checks, we can check the stress limitation for both short-term and long-term effects. Again, the results are directly on the screen in the main window and also in data window in the form of tables. Each check for stress limitation is printed in the table, and the extreme one is selected as the critical one. Crack width. The calculation of crack width is also possible. You can see the crack width 0.8 millimeters compared to 0.3, we have the value 60%. For the calculation of deflection, we provide the stiffnesses, again both short-term and long-term, and the check of slenderness is in the last check, which shows us that the calculation of deflection is not necessary. There are also some checks of detailing, such as minimum and maximum reinforcement, distance of the bars, and so on, so on. We can provide the report guarantee, or in case that we want to get the report for all sections, we go back to the list of sections, and we can generate, for example, brief document. For each section you get one row of the table. So for one structure you can get your output document on A4 format. Or if you want to have standard document, then for each section and each extreme we have one page A4 with the basic information. What is the utilization of the check? What are the basic characteristics, basic load effects, and so on, so on. If you really want to have detailed document, then you generate detail. So again, the program provides you either brief or very detailed output. And the next strength of RCS is the ability to assist you to deal with your code. For example, if we go after the result generated, yes, now we have a very detailed document with all the pictures, interaction diagrams, and all information necessary. So next strand can be seen here in code settings. All data needed for the checks according to Eurocode 2 are available here. In case that you need to find, for example, the check of beam, check of crack width, then the items are filtered and you get a quite acceptable table in which you can change the parameters given in Eurocode. All the references to the Eurocode provisions are given. So this program makes sure that everything is done correctly and safely according to Eurocode, and will assist you to deal with Eurocode. It is everything is clear. There is no black box. And the last strength of RCS is that it provides high-tech solutions. You can use multi-core computers and 64-bit processors. Thank you for your interest in our program RCS.